Story. So 13 years ago, I remember I got fired for the very first and the last time in my entire life and throughout my career. So I was a university student and I went on the student exchange program to the United States from Jamaica, and I decided to do housekeeping, and I was doing the right thing, and I was fired, because I wasn't doing the messy stuff that the other people were doing. And that brought me back to the point of today's live, where I spoke to an IPG, an international pharmacist graduate, who has been in Canada for at least 6 years now. And I think they got licensed 3 years ago. Long story short is, on Saturday, they were terminated from their job, their contract. It was supposed to be a 1-year work contract. And the reason I'm sharing this story with you guys is because I want you to understand that as a pharmacist, you can position yourself in the marketplace where you cannot be fired. You do the firing and you do the hiring. And I'm going to be talking about how you can do that inside this Saturday's masterclass, right? So as an independent travel pharmacist, I'm able to position myself as a partner with the business owners. You can position yourself as a collaborator in the delivery of care. You do not need to sign any contracts for an ongoing period where an employer has the advantage of firing you when your demands no longer meet their bottom lines. Because ultimately, we're all in business to make a profit, and yes, they're in business to make a profit, but they try to use up as much of your value as possible and pay you as little as possible. So what happened with this person? This is the second time they lost their job opportunity in the past couple of months, right? In under 6 months. During this job, somebody else took the role for less than 50% of what she was charging, so they released her from the contract. It wasn't renewed. And then she moved to another pharmacy, somewhere I'm familiar with, and they did the same thing. So now a new grad came out of school, fresh out of school. Apparently, they're going to take less. And when this IPG told me that they are working by themselves, and on one particular day, they had 450 prescriptions. Are you kidding me? Like, the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because you don't have to go through that rigmarole. You don't have to be chasing a full-time opportunity. There are so many opportunities in this market for you to make money. So many opportunities for you to position yourself as an independent pharmacist. You can choose when you go to work, when you don't go to work. I recently signed a 5 weeks travel contract, which means when the 5 week is over, it's over. And it's best to go to underserved communities. So in this upcoming masterclass on Saturday, I'm going to be talking about permanent relocation to Canada, because number one, you need to have your documents. You need to have your papers. You need to have your stay. You need to have 2 legs to stand on. Because when you are a PR or a permanent resident and or citizen, then you have more leverage. You're not locked into a work permit. You're not locked into an employer. You get to pick, choose, and refuse where you practice, where you choose to practice. Like, that's an empowered decision. I'm also going to be talking about the relicensing process and about passing the PBC exam successfully on your first attempt or your next attempt if you were unfortunately unsuccessful. And I'm also going to be talking about how you can efficiently, smoothly, seamlessly relaunch your career so that you are grossing the most, so that you're netting the highest earnings that you could net while being an independent pharmacist, so that you can have more time freedom. You can spend time with your family. You can spend more time in nature. You can spend time traveling. You could go to your kids' recital. Whatever you want to do with your time, it's for you to do, right? I'm going to be talking about how you can find more career fulfillment and how you can travel to these areas and check out the scene. Like, I personally will not sign a contract, not especially a long-term contract for a year, 2, 3 years, to get locked into a contract and I've never worked in the area before or work in the pharmacy. I want to know what the culture is like at the workplace before I do it. So doing travel contracts is like a free trial, except you get paid for the time that you spend there, right? So you get to observe the staff, you get to see what the workflow is like, you get to see what the demand is like. Yes, things change from season to season, but I think that's a better approach, right? So when you go to these places, then you can eventually decide, okay, I like this about this store, I don't like that about that store, I like the staff compliment, I like interacting with the patients in this city. You know, like, you get to decide like what feels good for you. The next thing is that you have more financial increase, because when you work as a full-time employee, your salary is basically capped. When you work as a travel pharmacist or an independent practitioner, you get to make more money. And then you can also see where opportunities are, where you would like to practice. Which city would you like to settle in? Where would you like to buy a house? Where would you like to, practice full-time and or establish your own pharmacy? You see things in practice that you like, that you don't like, that you could incorporate, that sort of thing. So you have to have a bigger vision for your career as you're progressing through. So I'm talking about, financial abundance. I'm talking about more free time. I'm talking about more flexibility in your schedule, so you can go and do the things that mean the most to you. So this Saturday, May 10th, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm doing the masterclass. I'm encouraging you guys to grab your tickets. You could grab one of those VIP seats and you can come with your questions. I'll answer those for you. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Share it with your pharmacist friends and colleagues. I don't know why my throat is feeling a little heavy. Yeah, I had some sniffles this morning. And tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a speaking engagement for the Black Pharmacy Professionals of Canada. So if you're a mentee or a mentor in the Black Pharmacy Professionals of Canada program, then tomorrow at 8 p.m. I'll see you guys. I'm going to be talking about success mindset for advancing in your career here in Canada and in your business and in your life, because success is a principle, right? So yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. So ever since I got fired back in 2012, I'm like, I'm not going to allow this to happen to me again. And I've never been fired since, but I'm not going to give anybody that opportunity. And if you want to work for a company that really and truly cares for you, you need to start your own. Like, you will have to figure out, find the resources, find the people, find the tools. Get creative to figure out how is it that you'll be able to work for a company that really and truly cares about you, where you can even make more money than what an employer would pay you right now, right? So looking forward to seeing you guys in masterclass. If you're not yet on my email list, get subscribed. You will get the daily updates, and I will see you guys pretty soon. Bye. Oh, look at my nephew, Jamar. So cute. Bye, guys.